All right, guys, here we are for the third time this week. Stage 3 of Allez 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 on the Champs Elysees. Only 4 total riders. I think only 3 of us are here right now. Very small group. It's going to be a very tactical race. I've been getting called out in the comments that I'm a big boy and need to ride like a big boy, which, you know, is basically, I think, along the lines of, hey, if you got wattage and power, use it. Make people pay on the flats so that on the hills and at the sprint, people are softened up a bit. I am going to take this one loop at a time. Let's get a sense of the spirit of this group over the first lap. And then maybe we can make some determinations after that. But look at this, it's actually turning out to be a race. More people showing up. Always a gamble. Here we go. Oh man, efforts here. So legit, very legit rider. Something like that. Definitely dominant rider. All right. Everybody's here. Okay. Let's breathe. Okay. One rage quit so far. Okay. Not sure who's paying more, me or them. Okay. Stay with the group. Okay. Okay. Long stretch up at the back. Wow. Efert, 7-second lead. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, I tried to be more active, and I painted myself in a good corner here. I'd love for anybody to start the discussion on raw watts versus watts per kilogram versus drag that's based on your height and weight. So I'm 6'3". I'm assuming Zwift penalizes me a lot for that. When you can see in my avatar, I sit 2 heads above the rest of the pack. So I'm sure my drag coefficient, the amount of area I produce for my drag, is bigger than most of these guys. Just a thought. Okay. 3K to go. Efert is 20 seconds ahead. Hilarious. What a legend. And that's the difference between the A's and the A's. You know, I kind of wonder, like, should the A pluses have their own category? The guys that can go over 5 watts a kilo. Or do they just need more of us to keep beating it up on? I just don't know. But then again, then a bunch of the A's are going to ride like the B's, where they try to go right up to the limits but not over. All the races start to become really controlled, and only sprinters win. So I don't think we want that either. Let me know in the comments. Okay. $2K to go. Okay. What happened? I don't have it. Oh, God. What a mess. What a mess. Definitely soften myself up and let the better riders get ahead. At least I had the smarts to sit fifth wheel and be patient and secure third. Still 2 seconds back of MC and 25 seconds back of Eifert, who is, again, one of the highest ranked riders in the whole game. That was a smart 4.4 on his part, especially if you look down at fourth and fifth place. They were at 4.6. So, what does that make me think about the suggested tactics? The suggested tactics will tire out people of my ability. So I wouldn't be surprised to find out if Ragonia and MH are very similar in power profile and riding style to me. I would assume that WMC, Weapons of Mass Cycling, and Eifert have profiles far in advance of mine. And so, thus they were, you probably saw if you watched the video, they were super patient. MC even fell off the back a few times, right? So, that's just confidence. Now the two guys behind me, they rode 4.6 watts per kilo, which suggests stress. That I did in fact stress those guys, right? They had to respond to all the moves. Not just mine, but anybody else who was on the front. And they did respond. And then I was able to jump onto their wheels. So, riding this way sets me up to be the best of the rest. But it really beats me up along the way. And there's no guarantee that I'll still end up ahead of the two guys that I ended up ahead of. Could have easily ended up last there. Not a problem. So we had one rage quit early on. I think they lost 11 seconds in the first half loop. So they just bounced. But everybody else was there. It was a hard ride for reasons of lack of wheels to grab onto, for reasons of me pushing harder because it's been suggested in comments that I do so. Still, at only 4 watts a kilo for that entire race, I didn't outdo my 4.3 watts a kilo that I did 3 or 4 days ago when I had to ride solo. But that 4.3 watts a kilo was without a pack and was slow. So the second time I did this, I did it in a pack, like 3.7 watts per kilo, and went, or 3.9, somewhere in there, and went way faster. 12 seconds faster, maybe? Something like that. So we'll see how this finish time stacks up and whether or not I contributed to the overall speed of the group, or whether or not I just shook the hornet's nest for the first two guys to finally just get pissed off enough with me that they're like, see you later, bro. You could have had a wheel and we would have out-sprinted you at the finish, but you could have had a faster wheel. And instead, you pissed us off. So we're leaving. Who knows? We'll have to go into Zwift Power. But, you know, post-race, once you review the data and watch the video a few times, the Monday morning quarterbacking starts. Could have done this, should have done that. And it leaves out the internal feeling and internal monologue in the moment, right? Sure, should have made a move here or should have gone less power there, but what was the feeling and thinking in the moment? Were we drifting up or drifting back? Did we have to push into it? Were we actually getting any space behind anybody? How was the body holding up under power? Like, you gotta ask those questions too. It's very easy to look at it and, oh, I should have done this. Sure. With unlimited physical resources, there are all sorts of things you should do. And then there's reality. And there's what you should do versus what you can actually do in the moment. So I was very present for that whole ride. Tried to be a bit of an agitator. I was gonna wait for the second loop, but legs came around early in the first loop, and I figured, let's just push a little bit and see what people's intentions are. So that first climb was much harder than the second climb, which I appreciate. I made the first one hard. I think I got the second one a little easier, but it turned out it was only easier because Efert was just waiting to say bye-bye and leave us all behind. So, I mean, again, there is so much going on in a bike race. It is so hard to control for all of the variables. And then to inject yourself into it where you don't just have unlimited stamina and power, and it comes and it ebbs and flows at different times in the ride, and you have to respond to the decisions of others. It's not as straightforward in the moment, but there's still things to be learned. One of the things learned today is no matter what, don't get ahead of the guy who's the strongest dude on the ride. He's just going to use you as his drafting puppet until he gets tired of you. Until he doesn't want to play with the toy anymore and he just throws it away. That is what happened today. All right, I am super short on time. This was the only time slot I had to do the race today. Glad I did it, but I have got to get back to work on a very full work day, coaching athletes in the sport of rowing. So thanks so much for being here. Please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the thoughts. A lot of you have gotten more involved with my riding and made a lot of suggestions, and I'm open to trying things. And with better fitness, yeah, I think I could probably become more of an agitator in the A's. But I got to get there. And I guess one of the ways to get there is to just try it and do it. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to leave this ride with more fitness than I started with. Third time this week, got shamed into it. Jeremy, thanks so much for that. Shamed into the third time doing it. And man, I really do hope that it's the fastest time of the week. I really do. So that it feels like it means something. We will find out soon enough. I'll leave that in the description once I have reviewed the tape. All right, it's back to the workday. So for now, that's all from me.